Welcome to News Weekly. So I'm your host Dan.
I'm co-host Ethan.
We love saying that now, don't we?
Yeah.
It's like a little thing.
It's a thing now.
So, welcome to this week's News Weekly, and we're back. We haven't got these stupid black curtains because it's doing me head in, so you can see through to our tracking room where all the good editing by the best editor in the world, me, Ian on a budget, and everything like that. So, let's start off with some news that I didn't think we'd be sharing today about Tribfest. So, Tribfest, we have got an acoustic stage this year, and it will be at breakfast times when people are there eating the bacon sandwiches, the sausage sandwich, and all that kind of stuff.
So, like, not like the pizza place and like the chip shop and stuff like that.
No. It'll be a nice little breakfast area where there'll be a nice acoustic stage. So while you're eating your sandwiches, you'll be having Nicole Fuster going, I like to sing a song, you know, all these kind of lovely things.
Please, it's nice weather outside, Dan. Come on.
Sorry, let's not get it to rain. But I just think it's great that we're doing something different this year, and it's a bit more broken down, so we'll be doing it in the morning, obviously.
Because it gives time for like people to get back and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I think, do you know what? It starts the morning off with some music and some different kind of things.
It wakes people up.
Yeah, it wakes people up, and I think this is a great opportunity as well to kind of get the young people that have not had ever some experiences with stages, just to have a little bit of experience on an acoustic stage. Because obviously, as well, I don't think you'll feel that pressure of people watching you, because it'll be more of like a listening kind of thing where people will sit there and listen to you, maybe glance over, and I think you'll feel less stress than people like just watching you like this, and it's kind of like, So I think it's going to be like a really good experience for people, because it'll have that different feel to how normal stages are run.
Yeah, and like speaking about pressure, like both of us have been like feeling the pressure when both of us are like on stage and stuff like that. Like it's so much pressure, like just on you. Like even if you're in a band, you still feel a lot more pressure than you think you would.
The thing is like in a band, people that are watching, all of them who are watching, like obviously I'm a drummer, so you're gonna have people that are drummers in the audience that are gonna be like more wanting to concentrate on the drummer, or you've got a lead guitarist, and there's people in the audience that are lead guitarists in other bands are gonna be watching you, so you still feel that pressure even if you're in your band. And a lot of people say it's all on the lead singer. It's not really, because
it's not. It's on the entire band.
No, for me, I love lead singers. Like as a drummer, when I go to see a band, I'm like, wow. And I'm just looking at the drummer because I'm so kind of flabbergasted, let's put that word in today. Flabbergasted by how great the drummer is. But it's like, then when, like for me, if I do something wrong or I'd like the hits are not like locked in with the bass, I'm like, what have I just done? And you know what? I probably notice it more than everybody else does, but you still feel that pressure.
You still notice it, yeah. And obviously with the acoustic stage, it's a nice way to take that bit of pressure off, because if it's because we're doing it in the morning, there'll be less people there. People will just like have a quick glance and stuff like that. Maybe like sit down and eat the food whilst like listening to you.
Yeah.
But because it's in the morning, most people will be just walking around like seeing what's like open.
Yeah. But I think it'll definitely kind of kickstart people's days with a nice little bit of music. Because I would love it. Sit there with your bacon sandwich, a nice cappuccino, or a sausage sandwich, or whatever sandwich you want. And I think it'll be really great. So, let's stop talking about acoustic stages at Tribfest. And why don't you move on to some great news that I'm excited about. And it's the radio show will be coming back. And it's new, and it's
revamped.
Bigger, it's better, we're revamping. So why don't you explain?
Basically like everything else that we've done recently, we're revamping it. So there's going to be me as one of the hosts. We've got Lucy Musgrave, is it?
Yeah.
As the other host, and it's not like this where host and co-host, where both hosting. We're not like you like say
I'm better than you.
Say a bit. Yeah, we're not doing stuff like that. It's if there's a song that she wants to introduce, then she'll introduce that song. Yeah. and then I might introduce the next song.
And I'm guessing as well, a lot of your planning will be you'll plan it together.
Yeah.
You'll kind of work how you're going to do things out together. Less than kind of one person doing the planning and then you'll kind of go with it. It's kind of more like
an actual group activity.
That's it. It's teamwork, isn't it? You're doing it together.
Healthy dependable relationship.
Yes.
I messed that up. I said relationship.
That's fine, mate. But how are you feeling about the radio show coming back and the new ways that we're going to be looking at doing it?
To be fair, I think it's good that we're bringing it back because, yes, I'm bringing up like the lockdown when we first started it, but it brought people together. Like people started listening to it. It created another community for us.
Yeah.
It gave people an opportunity to get the music out there.
Yeah.
When the centres it, so we could put it on, but it's basically just helping local bands get the music out there.
Yeah.
And it's just a way to basically, I don't know how to word it. It's to get yourself
advertising
and advertise your own stuff.
Yeah. Well, this is the whole point when so if you don't know Molly is one of the other leaders here. She does a lot of the music stuff, and me and Molly have been working really closely together, and really well obviously because me and Molly get on and like we do, and I think that we've been coming up with a lot of things of how we can re-look at the podcast, re-look at doing the radio show, and I think a lot of the things that we've come, well, I'm not saying it's just me and Molly, a lot of the things we've come up with and you've come up with and Lucy has kind of suggested, we've been putting all these plans together to bring this new and improved radio show. So one thing we've got planned is we're going to be doing like a live acoustic performance and maybe some bands at some point when we start doing a bit more. So basically what will happen is when we're doing our recording, an artist will come in live and they'll do a little bit of an interview and play a couple of songs in this room as well. So we're kind of looking at them different things, and the whole point of what we're going to try and do on there is advertise
local artists.
Promote local artists. Maybe promote ones that are kind of just outside of Hull, like that Revivalry. I think they're like a half an hour. 40-minute drive outside of Hull.
Yeah, they are.
So we can promote them more. We might even see if they can come down to our studio and we could do a live recording with them. So we've got loads of great things planned, and I think with you running it, Ethan, it's going to run nice and smoothly.
Well, because people like the deep natural voice.
Yes. No, but I think having you and Lucy will be, you're both two different kind of people, and you've got different like character. What's the word? Like
we've got different viewpoints and different characteristics.
That's the word.
Another dollar word.
I can't say it, but that word. So you'll bring like two different. I love this word. Two different vibes to the radio show, but they'll like come together to make one big vibe. I like vibe. I don't know why. It's just
you like the word vibes.
It's in my dictionary. And I think like. It's going to be a new good thing for Freedom Road.
Yeah, it will be.
Is there anything else you want to add on to the show? Sorry, I kind of took it
Well,
off
we need to tell them when this, when we start the radio again. The first one will be the 4th of August.
What day is that? What day is that, Ethan?
Wednesday. Like all our previous shows.
It's not on there, but it is a Wednesday.
It's not on here, but it is a Wednesday. It's on a Wednesday.
So that will be coming out. So that will be on. What's the radio show? What is it? I don't remember.
West Hull FM, which is 106.9.
106.9. Oh, and the other thing that we're going to be coming and saying
I might add another thing in.
Go on.
Right. If you can't find it on your radios and stuff at home, you can download the TuneIn app on your phone. Type in 106.9 or just West Hull FM. It should come up as 106.9 and it says West Hull FM on it. Click on that, it plays instantly.
Yeah.
And the app is also free to use.
Yes. And the other thing, you will not know about this yet.
Probably
not. You're going
to
be finding out, and Ian doesn't even know. So Ian will be finding out soon that the radio show has got a name change.
Ooh.
Are you ready for this? This is something that I had a chat with Andy about, and me and Molly kind of was like...
Should we tell them who Andy is?
Oh yeah, so Andy, you can explain who Andy is. You know Andy more than I do.
Yeah, Andy is basically the person who has given us the opportunity to go on West Hull FM and have our 1 hour show.
It will be coming back to 2 hours at some point.
Yeah, it will be coming back to 2 hours like we previously did, because we had 1 hour, then it went to 2 hours, and now it's back to one because we've got to like restart basically. So it's going to be 2 hours.
At some point, hopefully.
At some point.
At some point.
Maybe not this year, I guess.
Yeah.
Unless we get more like until we're more confident. But
yeah.
maybe at Christmas we might surprise you with like a 2 hour episode for like Christmas or something.
So going back, so when me and Molly was kind of racking our brains and was like FRCA FM, it's just a mouthful. Then why don't we call it Freedom Road FM? But then we both thought it sounds like we've got our own like radio like show on somewhere or something like that, and it sounds a little bit separate away from Freedom Road. So we both thought, well, why don't we try and think of a name that's more like a show,
creative and
but
personal.
But more like a show on their radio than like a separate radio.
Yes,
so we thought, why don't we call it the Freedom Road Takeover? So it's basically a radio show that's on their radio. So it sounds more like a different show that's on their. So they have different shows where it's like
they've got different people on each like.
I can't remember what the shows are called, but they've got different shows that are on their radio.
It's mainly the people's names.
Yeah. So obviously you've got like do you know like BBC One where you have the or the BBC? What's that guy called who's from Hull? I forgot his name, and he runs his own show, Alan something.
I don't remember.
I can't think of his name, but like so it's basically just like our name, so Freedom Road, and then the takeover because we're taking over their show.
Their show for an hour.
For an hour. So the kind of was thinking, do we call it the Freedom Road Takeover Hour or and then we go to 2 hours? But we're still working on that. But that's kind of the idea, is it's going to be called the Freedom Road Takeover. So that's what our show is going to be called. What do you think of that name?
It's actually quite a good name. I think it fits well. It's better than what we used to have it as.
Yeah, well,
I don't even. We just had it called.
It was FRCA FM, but it just sounds like we've got our own radio show.
When we don't, it's a section of a radio.
It's a section on their radio show. So that's why we thought of kind of changing the name to kind of suit better, to fit better. So if you do follow us on social media of the radio show, they will be taken down and all our stuff will be put on our main Freedom Road page. And that is Freedom Road Creative Arts on Instagram, Spotify, Twitter and Facebook. I think it's just Freedom Road Creative Arts. It'll probably come up. If not, shoot us a message on our podcast thing and we can send you the link to where you want it. And ours is Podcast Corner 101. Or some of them still have FRCA at the beginning. But if you can't find when you put Podcast Corner 101, try the FRCA. So, do you think that's enough of the radio for today?
It is enough about the radio. No.
So, we have some more news. Today's show is just so much news. Last week's was just dry and boring. This week we've got so much exciting news.
So speaking about like podcasts and radio shows, we're back about the podcast.
Yes, we are. But I know it's all about the podcast, but that's the whole point about this radio show, is to share new things that's going on in the world of Freedom Road and the podcast. So, I don't know if you can remember, but a couple of months ago, maybe more than a couple of months now, we did a live on our Facebook, and that went really well. That was with me and Molly, and we're going to be making this a monthly thing from next month. So the first one is going to be the 7th of August, what is a Saturday, and this I think will be a morning live. And we're still working out how we're going to be looking at it, but the main things of how it's going to run, it's basically be a half an hour to 40-minute live stream. What will just be two people having a healthy conversation about a subject, and then maybe kind of open it up to the public that are watching on the live, kind of a little bit different to how the podcast is run, but a bit more like this, where it's kind of a healthy conversation between subjects.
It's just two people, but technically you bring in the audience members in with you.
Yeah, so it'll just have a little bit of a different feel that I think will be a really great kind of thing for us to do and expand what we're doing. And this has kind of been in the planning for quite a couple of months now, and I think we're kind of at the stage of going to do it. So that will be happening, but just keep following us on our social medias
And
or
you can find
looking
more
on things,
details
and you'll be
out.
finding more details, and we will be sharing more as it comes closer to the date. But we just
You
think,
want to tell them the date just one more time?
yeah, the date will be, save it in your calendars. It will be the 7th of August, what's a Saturday, and I think we will be going live about 11ish, but that is still to be definitely agreed.
We're having a meeting about it soon, aren't
Yeah,
we?
we'll be having a meeting about everything because
And then you can find more details out after
yeah,
the meeting.
you can find more details. But we're really excited for this because it'll be a new journey for us to do, and it'll be really different because if we mess up, well, the world's gonna see it.
So, no swearing. That
Well,
can
obviously.
get bleeped out.
No, we do. I think that's the thing that we're quite good with everybody that we've got. Everybody's very well behaved and know what's wrong and right to say, and I think that's the
But
great thing about
Sasha,
the podcast crew
she
we've got.
can't really stop herself from doing that.
No. So, Sasha is one of our young people, if you don't know, and she has something called Tourette's syndrome. So sometimes in like podcasts and things, she acts, well, it's not accidental, is it? Sometimes a swear word comes out and she can't help that. She
Yeah.
doesn't swear that often, and I know she said sometimes I do, and I think
It's
her
mainly when it's warm because the heat can affect certain people with Tourette syndrome.
Didn't know that. Learn something every day. But a lot of her tics are kind of like just sounds and things like that. But I just want to say, if you do hear some swearing in the background, we try and cut it out if we can. Then don't kind of be alarmed of that, because I think we had a comment or something I know popped up about something about that. So that has been all sorted out now. But I think we've got a great gang of people now that kind of know what's appropriate and not appropriate to say, and they're all really sensible people. So let's do a quick podcast run through. Why don't you talk about your podcast and what's happening in that? That feels like deja vu saying that. So go ahead, you go. Hurry up.
Basically, mine had a couple of technical issues, which is getting sorted out. So by the time this is out, it should be out. If not, Dan hasn't sorted out the technical issues yet.
No. So the next thing is, I don't know if you saw last week's podcast, News Weekly, that we're starting to film now, and the next one that we're doing is filmed, and that is Courtney's, what is about LGBTQ, mainly about sexuality, and this just brought a bit of a different vibe to how we do our podcast, and I think it just really improves how we're doing it. So that is about it, if you've not got anything to add.
No, that's it.
No, so don't forget to follow us on all our social medias and everything like that. It'll be in our link tree down below. If you've got any questions about anything or any kind of videos you want us to look maybe at doing, message us on Facebook or Instagram.
And Twitter's a bit boring.
Yeah, and I don't get Twitter. And that is about it. I've been Ethan. There we go. I keep doing this. Why do I keep doing this?
It's fine. We'll say each other's names.
Alright, I've been Ethan.
And I've been Dan.
And you've been watching
News Weekly.